today we are going to study dictionary in Python. Why to learn Python dictionary? Dictionaries are frequently encountered when doing data science, especially when you are using data frame, pandas and numpy arrays. In that case, dictionaries are frequently used. So if you are performing data analysis, then dictionary are one of the elementary data structure which you are going to use. What you should know before going through the dictionary: usually basic Python programming construct, if else, nested if else if, for, and little knowledge of list and string will help you in learning Python dictionary. So list, string, list, tuple principle, these things should be known to you. If you are having any doubt on these topics, then kindly refer to the previous videos. It is going to help you. What you will learn from this session, once you will complete it, you will go through Python dictionary. What is Python dictionary? How to create it? How to access it? How to grow and shrink the Python dictionary? What are the different dictionary methods which can be used to manipulate dictionary? What is dictionary comprehension? If you have gone through list and tuple, then we are having list comprehension and tuple comprehension. The similar type of thing is dictionary comprehension. We will go through, and we will discuss about the nested dictionary and nested dictionary comprehension also. So starting with the dictionary. Dictionary is a collection of mutable, unordered set of key value pair enclosed in curly brackets. So one thing is clear, that it is mutable. Mutable means you can change the content of a dictionary. That means you can grow it, you can shrink it. Unlike tuple, where you are not able to perform any operation onto the tuple, but here in dictionary you can grow and shrink the dictionary easily. The data stored into the dictionary is always enclosed in the curly bracket. That is the second point which is clear here. And the third point is data is basically available in key value pair. It means the first element will have a key, then a colon sign and the value, then a comma, then second key, its value, then comma, and so on. Dictionary is a collection and not a sequence. This is very important. You have to know what is the difference between a collection and a sequence. Basically, when you are creating a sequence, in sequence you access the element from the beginning to the end, like element 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So it is having index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4 and so on. But when you are working with the collection does not have index like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is having its own set of indexes which are created by the programmer, first thing. Second thing, the storage of these indexes are not in the order of they have been created. It is basically stored into the memory in random order. So that's why you cannot perform the slicing operation onto the dictionaries. That is the basic difference. If in a sequence you can perform the slice operation. If you take the example of list or even tuple or even strings, so all these are sequence and you can perform the slice operation onto it. But dictionary is a collection. That means you cannot perform slice operation onto a dictionary. Dictionary is indexed by the keys. So key can be anything. It can be a number, it can be a string, it can be a fractional number even. So whenever you want to access the value in key value pair, you have to refer the keys, and with respect to the corresponding keys, what value has been stored, that is basically accessed by the program. Dictionary can grow and shrink, and hence it is mutable. And when we are using the word mutable, let me clarify one thing, that the keys are immutable whereas the values are mutable. That means once you have created a key into a dictionary, you cannot rename it. Once a key has been created with a particular name, you cannot change its name. That is, keys are immutable. but the value assigned to that particular key, the value stored against that particular key, can be changed. That means it is a mutable. So values are mutable, but since you can add new keys or you can delete existing keys from the dictionary, you can grow and shrink the dictionary. That's why it is called mutable. Sequence operation like slicing can't be performed onto the dictionary. I have already discussed. It is not a sequence, it is a collection, and since it is a collection, you cannot perform slicing operation. So how the key value pair is basically created? You have a key and then a value. A key is immutable. It can be a string, it can be a number, or it can be any other mutable object like tuple and so on. Okay, but when it is a tuple, provided all elements in the tuple are immutable. Okay, and then value, in value you can have any mutable value. It can be any Python object. It can be a number, it can be a string, it can be a list, it can be another dictionary, it can be a tuple or anything you can have. Like say d1 is equal to curly brackets, start and closing curly brackets, that is an empty dictionary. So this is an empty dictionary, and you can create empty dictionary in different ways, like say suppose I am saying d1 is equal to curly bracket, this is an empty dictionary. If I say d2 is equal to dict, this is also an empty dictionary. If we say print d1, print d2, you are getting two empty dictionaries. One is created with d1 is equal to empty curly brackets and another is created with the word dict. The second one is d2 is equal to Pawan 75, Amit 60, Neerav 95. So there are three key pair values. This is the first key pair values. The key is Pawan, that is the text, and 75. Maybe it is the marks obtained by the Pawan. The second key is Amit, the value is 60, and the third key is Neerav, and the value is 95. So the key Pawan, Amit, Neerav, these are the three keys, and value against each key is 75, 60 and 95. The dictionary D3 is 1 colon Pawan, 3 colon Amit, 2 colon Neerav. That is, 1 is the key, key 1, key 3, key 2, and again you can see this is unordered. It is not necessary that you are having first 1, then 2, then 3. You are having 1, 3, 2, and 1, the value is Pawan, key value 1, 3, value is Amit, key value 2, value is Neerav. Then D4 we are having lowest Amit, 1 Pawan, topper Neerav. What we are going to show here, that there is no restriction on key. At one point you are having key a string, at another point you are having key as a number. Similarly with the values also. Okay, you can have lowest Amit, or you can have lowest 75, 1 Pawan, topper Neerav, something like that. It means the key can be of any data type and value can be of any data type. So if you see the type of type D1, you will find class dict, that is D1 is of class dictionary. The value of D1 is empty. The value of D2 is Pawan, value is 75, Amit key value is 60, Neerav key value is 95. Similarly D3, the keys are 1, 3, 2 and values are Pawan, Amit and Neerav. And D4, lowest is Amit, 1 is Pawan, topper is Neerav. So this is how you can create a dictionary. Then accessing dictionary elements, you can access the dictionary element with the help of square bracket, and within the square bracket you can specify the key which you want to access. Dictionary items can be accessed by referring to the key name inside the square bracket, like dictionary name, square bracket, key. Say D4, lowest Amit, 1 Pawan, topper Neerav, that is the dictionary you have. Suppose I want to access the lowest value, so I will write D4 lowest, so you get Amit. Similarly, if I say D4 topper, you get Nirav. If I say D4 1, you get Pawan. Okay, so you can use like this. Say D1 is equal to, say, let us say D1, capitals is equal to, say, we are having UP, Lucknow, Punjab, Chandigarh, Tamil Nadu, Chennai. This is, we are having a dictionary of capitals. Now, if I want to access, say, what is the capital of Punjab, so I will write capitals in the square bracket Punjab. If you want to print it, you can say print. This is the mistake. We have to use colon here. Okay, so it is Chandigarh. The same thing we can perform with the help of get function also. Print capitals dot get. Now you can specify, say, you want the capital of Punjab, so get Punjab. It means within the get function, you will specify the key for which you want the value. So you will get this Chandigarh. So this is your get key value. What is the purpose of get key value? You can see here, it returns the value of the key specified. Okay, like we say capitals dot get Punjab, so it returns you the capital of Punjab. But what happens if a key does not exist? Then it returns the optional value. What you can see here is, suppose I am writing like this, say print capitals, and I want the capital of Andhra Pradesh. Suppose I want the capital of Andhra Pradesh. If I run it, you will get the error because Andhra Pradesh does not exist. The key does not exist. Okay, but if I say dot get, and within the get function I specify that I want don't know this type of output, then we can use it. Don't know. Andhra Pradesh is the key which is not available in your capitals list, so that's why it gives you a default value don't know. But this is optional. If you are not providing this, it will generate a none value. You can change the dictionary value by referring to the key. Okay, like D4 lowest Amit, 1 Pawan, topper Nirav. We say D4 lowest is equal to Deepak. That means earlier the lowest value of lowest was Amit, but now the value of lowest is Deepak. So if you print D4, it gives you the value of lowest as Deepak. D4 OK is equal to new student. It means if again here, if you are referring to a key which does not exist, in that particular case, the key will be added. Okay, so if you say D4, you can see the new student, new key OK has been added. Okay, this is the same we can do here. You can see, say, if I write here, say capitals, suppose Andhra Pradesh, Now since Andhra Pradesh does not exist, so I am saying Andhra Pradesh is what is Vijayawada. Presently it is Hyderabad. Say Hyderabad. Okay. And then it's Andhra Pradesh. The spelling has been written Andhra, so that's why you got the answer told now. You can see you are getting Hyderabad. Okay, this is say this Andhra Pradesh does not exist. So you got the answer, don't know, but Andhra Pradesh now exists. Once you added it, it is existing. So in spite of getting don't know, you are getting its capital, that is the Hyderabad. So this is how you can add a new. If a particular key name is missing, then it will be added to the dictionary as another key value pair. Now we are having three important methods associated with the dictionaries. One is keys method, another is values method, and third is items method. Keys method returns you the key available in a dictionary, all the keys available in a dictionary. Whereas the values method returns you all the values available in a dictionary. And what items do? Items gives you tuple of key value pair of all the key value pairs available in a dictionary. It means if there are suppose 5 keys, then items will return you 5 tuples, and each tuple will have the key and its corresponding value as element. So these are the three important methods, and let's see how we use these methods. So this is the dictionary MyDict, and it consists of 3 keys: fruit key, desert key, and veg key. So fruit is apple, desert is apple pie, and veg is beans. Now if I use the statement for x in MyDict, print x, what it is going to print? For x in MyDict, it is going to print the keys. It will print the keys value. So there are 3 keys: fruit, desert, veg. For the first time, the value of x will be fruit. Then in the next iteration, it will be desert. In the third iteration, it will be veg, and then finally it will be none. So you will exit from the loop. Okay. The same thing you can perform for x in MyDict.keys. So using the dictionary name directly in the for iteration, or dictionary name dot keys, both gives you list of keys. Okay, both gives you list of keys. So you can see you get fruit, desert, veg. Say let's see here. Suppose if the similar type of things we are doing here. Suppose I'm doing here, say print, and what I want to print? Capitals dot keys. I want to print all the keys of capitals. You can say you are getting UP, Punjab, and Tamil Nadu. These are the keys. UP is the key, value is Lucknow. Punjab is the key, value is Chandigarh. Tamil Nadu is the key, value is Chennai. So here when we say keys, it gives you list of keys. Okay, you got list of keys here. Similarly, if I say here print capitals dot values, it will give you list of values. For key UP, the value is Lucknow. So first value is Lucknow, second value is Chandigarh, third value is Chennai. So it gives you values. But if I say items, print capitals dot items, then it will give you tuple, and each tuple, just see, this is the tuple. and each tuple contains a key and value pair. So this is the second tuple, this is the third tuple, and so on. So this is what we are saying. Say this is how we are using the keys. Then same dictionary for x in mydict, print mydict x. When I say print mydict x, what it will print? It will print the value of a corresponding key. It means what is the value of fruit? Apple. Then value of dessert, apple pie, and the value of veg, that is beans. So you will get apple, apple pie, beans. So this is how you are printing values. And the same we can perform like for x in mydict dot values, print x. So one by one it will print apple, apple pie, and beans. All the values will be printed. Similarly, mydict, same dictionary we are talking about. For x in mydict dot items, if I say print mydict x, you will be getting this type of thing. In items, you are getting tuple, fruit, apple. Fruit is the key. Fruit is the apple. Fruit is the key, and apple is the value. Similarly, dessert is the key, apple pie is the value, veg is the key, and beans is the value. Okay. The same thing you can perform like this for x in mydict dot items, key x0, value x1. What is this? In tuple, you are getting a tuple, and in tuple you are having two values, the first value and the second value. So first value will be referred as x0 and second value will be referred as x1. So you are getting the same thing. Okay. So this is how you can access the methods, keys, values, and items. This is another way, like x comma y in mydict dot items. So x comma y, again we are talking about the tuple. In tuple, the key will be assigned to x and the values will be assigned to y automatically. So this is how you are getting the key is fruit, the value is apple, the key is dessert, value is apple pie, the key is veg, and value is beans. Some other dictionary methods are there, like len. It returns you the number of elements in the dictionary, that is number of keys you can say, or number of values you can say. A key value pair is one element, so how many elements are there accordingly. Then we are having dict. It is a constructor function, and we had already seen it. It is used to create an empty dictionary as well as any thing, from any sequence which is containing a key value pair, it can convert it into the dictionary. Del dict, it deletes the complete dictionary. If you want to delete entire dictionary, you can use del and the name of the dictionary. Like say, suppose here, before going to del, let's see another method also. Del dict key, it deletes a particular key. So let us first delete a particular key we want to delete. So suppose here I am saying, say del capitals, and I want to delete Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu. And then I say, suppose print capitals, you can see from our dictionary Tamil Nadu has been deleted. So with the help of del function, you can delete one particular key if you want, and you can delete the entire dictionary also. If I say del capitals and then I say print, what is going to happen? You are going to get an error. Why? Because capitals does not exist. It has been entirely deleted. Okay. So this is, you can use del. One more thing, you can use another function also to delete a particular key, and this is your pop function. You can use pop key. When you use pop key, it returns and deletes the value of the key specified. Okay, the key is returned, like say if I say pop capitals dot pop, say suppose UP. You can see you're getting Lucknow. So this is what they actually it has been deleted and the value is returned. So the value is returned, that's why it is being printed here. If I say here print capitals, you are getting Punjab and Tamil Nadu. Why? Earlier in capitals you have UP, Punjab and Tamil Nadu, but you deleted the UP, capitals dot pop UP, so UP has been deleted, and if you want to print it, you can print it because it returns the value as I told you. Okay, and then you printed the capital. So Lucknow, that is UP, has been deleted. UP has been deleted. This value was Lucknow, and remaining was Punjab and Tamil Nadu. So this is how you can use the pop. Then we are having pop item. Pop item is also used to delete the last key value pair inserted in the dictionary. Okay, whatever is the last item which has been added to the dictionary, it will be automatically deleted. Earlier to Python 3.7, it removes the random item from the dictionary, arbitrary, any item. Say suppose you have a dictionary having some key values 1, 2, 3. Later on you added 4, then you added 5. So now there are 5 key values, but when you issue the pop item, it will randomly delete any key. Okay, but now it deletes the last inserted key. So try it by yourself. Clear deletes all the items of the dictionary. You can see here, suppose we say capitals dot clear print capitals. You can see, now you can see the difference between the capitals dot clear and del capitals. Del capitals delete the capital entirely. It means it deletes the entire structure. The dictionary is fully deleted. But when you say clear, it simply clears the values. It does not delete the dictionary. It clears the values. And since the value has been cleared from the dictionary, so dictionary becomes empty. Dictionary still exists. You can use them without any error, but it does not contain any data. So that is the difference between the del, dict and clear function. Then copy creates a copy of a dictionary. If you want to create a duplicate copy of a dictionary, okay, so you want to create the duplicate copy of a dictionary. So in that particular case, say a is equal to capitals dot copy print a. It will create the duplicate copy of existing dictionary. So by using the copy function, you can copy any dictionary. Okay, so some more functions, like one of the functions is from keys. It creates a dictionary from the specified keys. Okay, whatever the key you are specifying, from that particular keys, it creates a dictionary key, and you can specify the value. If the value is not provided, it by default takes none, and if the value is provided, that value is assigned to all the keys. So what are keys? These are iterable sequence specifying keys of a new dictionary. They can be a list or a tuple, whatever you want. And value, for all the keys, it will be the value. Okay, if the value is not provided, it is optional item, as you can see in square brackets. So by default value, none will be taken. But if you provide the value, then that value will be assigned to all the keys. Okay, so like K is equal to fruit, desert, veg. This is the key we are creating, a list of keys. Then D1 is equal to dict dot from keys K. We are not providing value. So the 3 keys will be created. The first key will be fruit, second key will be desert, and third key will be veg. And all the keys will have a default value none. So you can see D1 fruit is none, desert is none, veg is none. Then we are creating another dictionary D2, dict dot from keys K, 100. So same keys we are creating, but the value we are specifying this time, that is 100. It means again it will create a D2 dictionary with keys fruit, dessert and veg, and value will not be none this time. It will be 100, 100, 100. So this is fruit 100, dessert 100 and veg 100. Then say suppose we have created a value apple, apple pie, beans, and we are creating D2 is equal to dictionary dot from keys k comma v. So what will happen? What do you think? Keys will be fruit, dessert and veg, because k is a list. Okay. And what will be v? What will be the value? No, 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 no. You are thinking wrong. It will not be fruits will be apple, dessert will be apple pie, and veg will be beans. No. It will be fruit will be apple, apple pie, beans. Dessert will be apple, apple pie, beans. Veg will be apple, apple pie, beans. This is the only one value. It is just a list. Here we are not having values. We are having just one value. So this entire value will be assigned to all the keys fruit, dessert and veg. You can try it also. Say suppose k is equal to fruit, dessert and veg, and value is equal to apple, apple pie and beans. Now d1 dot from keys k comma v, print d1. Suppose if we are running this, d1 is equal to dictionary dot from keys. This is, you can see, the first key is fruit and the value is apple, apple pie, beans. This is just one value. Second key is dessert and the value is again apple, apple pie and beans. And third key is veg and the value is apple, apple pie and beans. So this is how you can use from keys. Then we are having set default, gives you the value of a set default gives you the value of a specified key. In case of key does not exist, then it will insert that key with a specified value. Okay, so the method of using is dictionary dot set default key comma value, like d is equal to fruit, dessert and apple pie. X is equal to d dot set default dessert apple pie. Now what happens? It will provide you the value of dessert if dessert exists. If this key exists, then it will provide its value. Okay, this key exists and its value is apple pie in small letter, and here the value is apple pie in capital letter. Now if we print the value of x, it will print what? It will print apple pie. It will print apple pie. Since this key exists, so it will print the value of the existing key. Now again we are saying y is equal to d dot set default main course comma rice pudding. Now it will search the key main course. Now main course is not available into this particular list. So what happened? This key will, since this key is not existing, this key will be added where? To the dictionary, and the value will be rice pudding. So if again we say print x, it is rice pudding. Sorry, if we print it now, you can see fruit, apple, dessert, apple pie, veg, beans, and main course. This item has been added. Main course, rice pudding. So this is the same thing we can do from here, like say suppose here suppose this is the capital, and if I say here print capitals dot set default, and we want the value of UP. the key and the value. It gives you Lucknow. The key UP exists and its value is Lucknow. Again we are doing the same thing, but this time I'm looking for Bihar. So Bihar does not exist, it gives you the value Patna. But what is the value of capitals? Now, in capital, Bihar is added. The key Bihar, since key Bihar was not present here, so this key has been added. So this is how you can use set default. Then we are having update, insert specified items, a dictionary or iterable object with key value pair into a dictionary. Update is used to insert a key value pair to a dictionary, like dictionary dot update iterable. Say your D is equal to the same dictionary we have already used, fruit, desert, and veg dictionary. Now D dot update main course rice pudding. This is the dictionary we are having, and this item will be added to our dictionary simply. Or say DC is empty. Now we are saying DC dot update. So we are having, this is, these are strings, you can see. If you see, these are the strings, and each string is iterable. You know, each string is iterable. So the first value is A, second value is capital A. So the first value will be treated as key and the second value will be treated as value. So this is key value, key value, key value, key value, key value. So if you print DC, this is sorry, key is A, value is A, key is E, value is capital E, key is I, value is capital I, and so on. So this is how you can use the update function. Dictionary comprehension. Dictionary comprehension is very important topic. We use shortcut to create dictionary. Dictionary comprehension can be used to replace for loops and lambda functions. Also, all the dictionary comprehensions can be converted into the for loop, but all the loops, for loops cannot be converted into dictionary comprehension. This is very important. If you have a dictionary comprehension, then you can convert it into the for loop. That means if you don't have the idea of dictionary comprehension, even then you can create good programs using for loops. But if there is certain loop, for loop, then it is not necessary that it will be automatically converted, or it can be converted to dictionary comprehension. The minimum syntax of the dictionary comprehension is dictionary is equal to, in curly bracket, key colon value, key value pair, that is key colon value, for variables in iterable. So this is key value, what exactly you want to have in dictionary. This is the variable from where these key and value will be picked, and this is your iterable from where you want to pick the key value. Like this is the example for that, say D is equal to I colon I into 2 for I in range 6. So I in range 6, you know very well, range 6, it will generate a value between 0 to 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 6, not including 6, so 0 to 5. So the value of I will be 0, then it will be 1, then it will be 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. So when I will be 0, the key will be 0 and value will be 0 to the power 2, that is 0. When key will be 1, I is 1, when key will be 1, it will be 1. Then key will be 2, 2 to the power 2, that is 4. When key will be 3, 3 to the power 2, that is 9. Then 16 and then 25. So this is your dictionary, this is the key, this is the value, this is the variable in for loop, and this is your iterable you want to use. Range 6, that is the iterable, that is the sequence. And so D will be key 0, value 0, key 1, value 1, key 2, value 4, I to the power 2, key 3, value 9, key 4, value 16, key 5, value 25. So this thing can be done with another, this thing can be done with the for loop also. Okay, just see here, if suppose I want to do the same thing, say for I in range 6, but before this I want to create a dictionary. D is equal to, now D I is equal to I to the power 2, and then say I say print D. If you run it, this is what you are getting, the same thing. and this you can do d is equal to I colon I to the power 2 for I in range 6 20 20. If you run it, same thing. So this is comprehension. This is the comprehension, and the same thing can be done with the help of loop. So that is not necessary that you convert everything into dictionary comprehension just to make shortcuts. If you have an idea of dictionary comprehension, that is very good. If you don't have the idea, even then the program can be made with the simplest for loop. So, like this is just an example I am dealing with, and how the shortcut will work your task and make it easy. Just see, say average temperature in Fahrenheit in India during the summer season is like in April, the average temperature in degree Fahrenheit is 90, in May it is 94, in June it is 98, in July it is 104. Now average temperature in degree Celsius, we want to convert this degree Fahrenheit temperature into the degree Celsius, and we have a formula. So the formula is 5 by 9, 5 upon 9 into F minus 32. Okay, so this is simply from Fahrenheit we subtract 32 and we multiply the value with 5 by 9 and we get the temperature in degree centigrade. So what we are doing the same thing. Say temperature is equal to x colon 5 by 9 into y minus 32 for x comma y in tf dot items. Remember items, keys, values and items. So we want to access items because we want both. We want the keys and we want the values. So x is the key and y is the value. Now key will remain key here. We want key should be as it is. So x is x, that is key, and value becomes this one. This is in degree centigrade. So y, that is the value, and it will be converted into degree centigrade. So this is how you can say in April the temperature is 32.22 degrees centigrade. Average temperature in May it is 34.44. In June it is 36.67, and July it is 39.9. Though it is hypothetical, but the example fulfill the need of dictionary comprehension. We can use conditions also in dictionary comprehensions, like dictionary is equal to the same thing, key colon value for variable in iterable, and after that we can have condition, and we can have as many conditions as we want. If condition 1, then if condition 2, then if condition 3, and so on. That means this key value will be calculated only when this condition will be satisfied. If condition is not satisfied, then the key value will not be calculated. So I am using here 3 examples. D1 is equal to n colon 2 into n for n in range 1 to 11. Range 1 to 11 you know very well. It will generate a number between 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This sequence will be generated. And when the key is 1, value will be 2. When key is 2, value will be 4. 2 into n, 4. When key will be 3, n will be 3, value will be 6. So it will give you 1 colon 2, 2 colon 4, 3 colon 6, 4 colon 8, and so on. Now in the same sequence, everything is same, but we put a condition if n percentage 2 equal to 0. That means if the number is divisible by 2. If the number is divisible by 2, that means what we are talking about? We are talking about even. So if the key is even, if key is 0, 0 is not there because we start from 1. So 1 is not divisible by 2. So key will be not 1. It is not calculated. Now then the next key will be 2. 2 is divisible by 2. So 2 colon 4. Similarly 4 colon 8. Similarly 6 colon 12, and so on. And here in this particular case, if n is divisible by 2 as well as n is divisible by 3. So if you see the result, D1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the keys, and values you can say double of the keys: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. But in D2 you get only the even values. Here it is not divisible by 2, this 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 is not divisible by 2. So all these will be discarded. They will not be calculated because they does not fulfill the condition, and remaining will be used, calculated. Okay. like this. But in case of D3, you are getting only one value, 6 colon 12, because 1 is not divisible by 2, 2 is divisible by 2 but not divisible by 3, 3 is divisible by 3 but not divisible by 2, 4 is divisible by 2 but not by 3, 5 is divisible by 2 but neither by 2 nor by 3, 6 is divisible by 2 as well as 3, 4. Similarly 7, 8, 9, 10, they are divisible by 2 or 3 but not both. So the only element which is left here is 6, which is divisible by 2 as well as 3. So this is what you are getting as your output. So this is, you can use dictionary comprehension. You can use if else also. Let's say suppose we are having D1 Pawan 50, that is the age. You can say Pawan has age 50, Amit has age 20, Shahil has 38, Pratik has 41. Now we are having a D2, we are creating another dictionary D2. So K colon, now old if V is greater than 40, that is Pawan, either it will be old or it will be young. Now if the value is greater than 40, then it will be old, and if the value is less than 40, then it will be young. For K comma V in D1, K is key, V is value. So what happens? You can say Pawan is old because his age is 50, Amil is young because his age is 20, Sahil is also young because his age is 38, these are less than 40, and Pratik is also old because his age is 41. So this is how you can use if else while calculating. Nested dictionary. You can create a dictionary into a dictionary. So embedded dictionaries are called nested dictionary. A dictionary inside a dictionary is called nested dictionary. Like this is the example of nested dictionary. Say I'm having two students. The first student name is Amit, age is 18, sex is male. The second student name is Mohini, age is 19, sex is female. And when I say print student, this is the first, this is the key, and this entire thing is value. This is the value of dictionary value. Okay. Then this is the another key, and then rest of the things is value. Okay. Now if I want the name of the first student, so I will use stud1 first key, and within the key, since it is a dictionary and I want name, so I will use another key. Okay. Similarly, if I want the sex of second student, then student 2, and then sex is female, and so on. Okay, we want to add the age of both the students, so student 1 plus age, student 2 age, and this will be added. Student 1 age is 18 and 19, that gives you 37. So this is how you can create nested dictionary. Nested dictionary can be created with the help of already existing dictionary also. That is, you can say it is a form of embedded dictionary. Stud 1 is dictionary 1 and 2 is dictionary 2. The same thing happens, same existing. So this is how you can create a nested dictionary and you can access the nested dictionary. With nested dictionary, we can perform nested dictionary comprehension also. Like this is the key, this is key inside the key, and this is the value. For y in range 1 to 5, for x in range 1 to 4. That means the value of x will be 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1 to 4 means the value of x will be 1, 2, 3. And value of y will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So when x is 1, y will be 1, the result will be 1, the next time it will be 2, then 3, 4. Then it will be 2, y will be 2, then 4, then 6, then 8. And when x will be 3, it will be same 1, 2, 3, 4, and the value will be multiplied by 3. So you can see here, this is what the x is 1, then the x is 2, and then the x is 3. When x is 1, y will be 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. When y is 1, x into y is 1. When y is 2, x into y is 2. When y is 3, x into y is 3. When y is 4, x into y is 4. Now x is 2, y will be same 1, 2, 3, 4. So when y is 1, 2 into 1 is 2. When y is 2, 2 into 2 is 4. When y is 3, 2 into 3 is 6. And 2 into 4 is 8. And in case of 3, it is 3, 6, 9, 12. So this is how you can create nested dictionary comprehension. The same thing you can perform with the help of loop also. You can see d is equal to dictionary. We have created an empty loop. Then for x in range 1 to 4, that will create 1 to 3. So dx d1 is equal to within the dictionary. Again we are y is equal to x into y. The same thing here. Or we can further. It means we can convert this thing also into a loop. So when converting this thing also into loop, this is dx is equal to an empty dictionary. We are creating a blank dictionary. For y in range 1 to 5, this is for y in range 1 to 5, dx comma y. Second level, dx comma y is equal to x into y. So this is how you can use nested dictionary comprehension. So this is all about dictionary we have discussed. Now I am giving you two assignments which you will complete and you will submit today only. Write a Python program to read a tuple of elements containing string. Okay, so we are having tuple and that tuple contains strings. Okay, then to display the element of tuple thrice if it is a numeric string, otherwise display the element terminated by hash sign. It means say in tuple I am having suppose 1 comma pawan. So 1, since it is a numeric string, so it will display 1 1 1, and hash since it is a string, so it will display pawan hash. Then write a Python program to read a tuple of a string and then insert another inputted string at ith position in tuple. We have already discussed this particular thing in tuple. Okay, so thank you. Now if you have any problem in dictionary, then please feel free to contact me. Send your problems. We will discuss the assignment. I will provide you more assignments based on the dictionary day after tomorrow, and then we will have a online test on all the topics we have covered so far. Okay, so after completing the test portion, we will start the class 12th content of Python. That is, we will start from the functions. So thank you very much.